Hey yo, what's up? You know what it is. It's the one and only Professor L live in the LAB, live on Team GRF TV, and I'd like to welcome you guys back to another installment of Triple the Guy Speaks On. And yo, I'm like, yo, this episode was a doozy. I need y'all in the lab. I need y'all to get busy because we got us a doozy on the board. Y'all know what to do. Get those lab coats on. Make sure they nice and spiffy. Make sure you're nice and sterile and stay away from them dangerous L experiments. We do our job to make sure that we show you how people take the L's and how them L's get delivered. A lot of signs going on up there. You don't want to catch no L's like that, so be careful. Asses in seats, eyes on the board, because man, we got us a doozy. Kamen Rider build. Episode number 13. Who takes off the veil? Now, when I talked at length last week about where it is this show is going to go once we have this information, we have the information now. We can do something with that information, but what do you do? I am going to try my best to not hop to that until it's time. Because we got us a whole episode we've got to dichotomize, look at, and we've got a whole character to sit up here and dichotomize and look at. But, before we get to the business at hand, I just want to say something. He say Generation Final gonna be off the meter. I'm like, yo, the fam is in the building. The fam, boy. That boy Edgy. That boy Edgy, boy, like, yo, I got my lucky underwear, cuz, you know he rolling with Ink. You know you got that high school boy sitting up here like, oh, you get down. And then what they said, yo, we can get God. So they like, yo, God, come holler. God's in the building. And not talking about me, but other God. Look, I want to just inject some positivity into this one, because I know we're going to go to some dark places in this review to try to dichotomize what's going on. But I just want to start off with something happy, something simple, you know, something that brings me joy. And knowing that I can't wait for them subs to come out, I'm opening the synagogue for that one when the subs come, because I'm going to have some fun. I had some fun the last time. Thicky Miss L Giver, may you rest in peace, my girl. Sitting up here hitting with the toe tapper. I'm like, yo, she was behind. I wanted to lay her down. But yo, asses in seats, eyes on the board. Who takes off the veil? Episode 13 of Kamen Rider Build. I want to just hop right into the gritty. I want to. I know, though, that in order to get to where I want to get to, the rest of the episode deserves dichotomy, right? So, let's do that. We start our last episode right where we left it. Nabashima calls that boy Sento like, yo, I got the news. Sento gets the news. This news changes everything. I want to say this just off the rip, just so I can say this, just in case I forget. I know I won't, but just in case that I do, and all the hype and hoopla of this episode, I appreciate the way Sento handled this. We know that boy is full of focus. He can put in work. But when that boy go berserk, he go berserking. You don't hear me? That boy go berserk. Given the information that he had to hold on to for an episode and some change, he handled it with some brain power and some tact. You would expect that from brilliant, talented physicist Sento Kiryu. You'd expect that. Given what we learned, I expected him to handle that situation a whole lot differently. But I gotta give him his props. That's evolution of a character. Now, we've been knowing the character for 13 episodes, but we know Sento don't deal with dudes very well. So for him to sit up here and not go completely psycho insane with that information and just go dumb and think it out, I gotta give it to him. I gotta give it to him. He played that perfectly, and I gotta give him his props. The rest of the early part of the episode was figuring out what the plan is, and their plan was simple. We gonna find out who Bloodstalk is. That's the plan. Sento, we didn't know Sento knew the answer to the question, but we understood that, yo, homeboys got a plan. And now we gonna run that plan. And now, here's Pandora featuring Beverly. Beat the fun, oh my, gonna tiki, want the tiki, I the tiki. I'm gonna skip the rest. Episode. Now, with this information in hand, we move over to somebody else who got some issues. My boy, Gentoko Himuro, the leader of the Gray Squad, over here with my other favorite character, Japanese Big Worm. Japanese Big Worm, like, hey, yeah, dog, hey, man. Good job on that, setting up your homeboy, shooting them in the chest and killing them thing. That was really cool. Like, yeah, man, I know, man. I did that for you. I did that for you, Japanese Big Worm, man, because you my hero, Japanese Big Worm. I love you. You my guy, Japanese Big Worm. Yo. Calm down, little homie. Calm down. I got some news for you, bro. I'm afraid that whole give rider system to your hood thing, I'm not doing that now. Huh? What you mean? Look, bro, look. It ain't no offense to you, man. I appreciate the work you putting in, my God, family. But yo, I got a new partner. And it is what it is, and I'm putting in this work. If you wanna get back in Japanese Big Worm good graces, I need you to go out in the streets. And I need you to put some work in. Can you put some work in? I got you, Japanese Big Worm. What proceeds to happen is one of the best things I've seen in this show. Gentoku, thinking with his noggin a little bit, just a little bit, is he like, I need to find Pandora's box. So, who's the one person that knows where the box is? That Bloodstalk, that guy, nephew Bloodstalk. So they go meet in the forest, and Gentoku cusses him out, calls him a bitch, like, man, yo, where that box at? He like, hey, if you want the box, come get it. He like, hey, no problem. But mismatch. And before this fight starts, Gentoku makes an interesting point, and Bloodstalk makes a counterpoint, which is going to come into play later in this episode. The transmit system is standstill. The rider system ever evolves because of what it is. That means that you and me, we on infant battle it out strength, so let's do it. Their fight was off the chain. However, their fight demonstrated something very important that we all can take a lesson from. Some real life stuff in the middle of this review, right? Power never wins battles. Experience does. And that's the point Bloodstalk brings up, because Gentoku sitting up here like he driven by this greed. I had to shoot my homeboy, Japanese Big Worm disappointed me. My daddy hemmed up in the hospital. I'm finna whoop his ass. And Gentoku was getting with him. Bloodstalk was playing possum because he got him on the ground, had him dead to rights. Had him dead to rights. By the way, I need to get an Xbox One X and play Dead to Rights. I ain't played Dead to Rights in years, but regardless, had him dead to rights. Had him in a Jenkins I'm a 5 combo string because yes, in Dead to Rights you can do a whole bunch of Tekken strings. It's a thing. Anyway, had that boy Bloodstalk Dead to Rights, and then that's when experience came into play. He sat up here, he slithered from up under them, sat up here, rifle mode, bing, bing, bing. Hit him with the dumpers, hit him with the dumpsters, the bang, laid him out. And then Bloodstalk and more of this stuff that we are going to discuss in some deep dive later. Sits up here and look at him like, all right. Number one, you want to know who Japanese Big Worm partner is? Surprise, bitch! It's me, Bloodstalk, punk! Oh, by the way, you wish to get Pandora's box back? You can't use the Gray Squad army. Maybe you should go non-government with it. I don't know. Just a thought. But you think about that while you laying your ass on the ground, while you underestimated that you thought our strength was equal, but my experience outranks yours. Have a nice day. And that's what it was. Which leads into our next thing. Because at this point, I'm trying to sit up here and I'm trying to set these scenes because of the way that I'm approaching, analyzing, and looking at it, right? Is that Gentoku sits up here. He called the boy Sento up. He like, yo, hey man, hey yo, meet me at the lab, cuz I need to rap with you real quick, man, about this thing I got going on. You know what I mean? He sits up here, calls in the boy like, hey man, look, this what we gonna do. I need you to go over here to Japanese Big Worm house, and I need you to steal this box. Just go over there, steal the box. I don't care how you do it, when you do it, what you do it, but I need you to steal this box. It is very important that you get the box for your boy because I just need your brain for it. In understanding and setting the scene for this, Gentoku Himuro knows exactly who Sento Kiryu is. Knows this information. Is deeply aware of this information. Knows it, understands it, right? We have a little flashback in Sento's head of dude sitting up here asking you to do him a favor to go get this box from Big Worm House. He just put the bullet in the boy. We still don't know if he dead or not. I still don't believe he dead. I just believe he gonna come back as a rider at some point, and him and Gentoku gonna have like some epic battle or something. Cause I wish for it. But regardless, it's been this whole weird game of cat and mouse between Gentoku as Night Rogue, with Bloodstalk out in the streets, and we gonna discuss that. Sento over here in the corner with his squadron, and it's just a whole lot of weird espionage, I guess. I guess that's probably the word I want to use. Big giant word, espionage. That's our big word for today here, children. Espionage. To sit here, think about, and consider what it is that you wish to do when you're doing it and why, right? So Sento agrees to do this, not to help Gentoku in any way, but just to sit up here and ultimately when we get back to Nazi, to sit up here and like, we going in because we trying to lure Bloodstalk out. That is the plan. The plan is this simple. It's like, yo, they sitting up here doing the smart thing and questioning, like, why would the government ask you to do a thing? But, hey, it don't matter. This plays into our plan. So whatever their reasons are, fine. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I got 50 Bentleys in the West Indies. Whatever. It don't matter, right? So, more of that thought that I said I was going to forget to talk about, what I'm talking about, yeah. If the technical not enemy is asking you to go to Japanese Big Worm House and steal a box so you can get it, yeah, that plays into our plan because that's going to leave Bloodstalk out. This also plays into the play where Sawa actually gets to be useful, quote unquote, of, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You used to run with them, yo, what's the password? Give them the password, tell them to run, and they run. That boy Sento, that boy Banjo Ryuga, best match, wake up dragon, and they run right in. Cause yeah, cause I'm trying to get to the point. I'm trying to get to the joint. So they run in, work, kill these people, sit up here. Kaiser Korasha, all this old good stuff. Work. They get to the thing, and it's like, I really want to highlight this because I try to mention this every time the show goes out of its way to do this, of reminding you that we can have some fun. You got Sento trying to push the buttons with the rider suit on. I can't push the buttons, cuz. Use your pinky. And I'm like, word? Use your pinky. I'm just like, I'm done. I'm like, this show takes the time out being a serious action show that's marketed to kids to sell trinkets and toys and stuff, to take your time out and say, use your pinky to press the buttons. They use their pinky, press the buttons, and then the code don't work. But the door opens anyway after getting pushed in the face and all that. And there's that boy, Bloodstar Ook, putting in that work. I needed a dramatic pause because who was behind that door? That boy Bloodstar Ook with Pandora's box. Not surprising in any way. A fight breaks out, and the usual Bloodstalk is a gangster, handles them no problem. Both, let me see, cause Sento used multiple forms. He came in there as Kazoku Rasha, then he transformed into Hawk Gatling. He transformed into something else before he did the thing that changed the tide of the battle. What form did he use? I can't even think, because I know he came in there as, like I said, Kazoku Rasha. He didn't transform into Hawk Gatling, got knocked down. Yep, no, and then that's when he pulled out Octopus Light. And that changed everything. There was something I failed to mention on purpose because I want to start to lay the foundation for what we are about to get into, right? Before they left to go run in and go put in this wizard to go get a box back from Japanese Big Worm's house, is Sento asked Swimming Pools, like, I want you to purify this bottle. She turns to him and says something that I wish I'd have been keeping up with. This is the last one. The last bottle to purify. And they left it vague whether or not she do it, because she said, I didn't want to do it or whatever. But we found out she did it anyway. Sento used Octopus Light and sat up her and put the work in on Bloodstalk. They sat up her, hit him with everything, hit him with a rider punch. Then he's that boy Ryuga hit him with the bop it. He said bop it, pull it, spin it, and then he died. Got knocked over with a bop it. Yes, a bop it. A bop it is his weapon. Yes, he said bop it, pull it, mega hit, pink, hitting with the work. Bloodstalk retreated. They got Pandora's box, and everyone was happy. They celebrated. It was a nice little flashback early in the episode that we're going to get into now. Because now, this is the moment that I've been waiting for. Sento and Ryuga get back. Because early in the episode, Sento and Soichi had a conversation about when I found you and you became built, of how this place became home for you. Then it's like it was a really cool throwback and showed his first fight, and it's like it was like a really cool thing to like see Sento's first fight when he first turned into Rabbit Tank for the first time. It was a really cool flashback, and I'm really glad that they saved it for that moment because it brings everything together that we are about to get into. He's sitting up here, he come in, he waiting for Soichi to greet him, he ain't there, but Masora's there. Like, welcome home. Because it's like, it seemed at that point that they both knew what it was we were all about to find out. Right? So, they sit, they enjoy a celebratory dinner, everything is cool. Everybody got the itis, they sleep, they knocked out. The full bottles and Pandora's box is being stolen. And that's when we get the reveal. Soichi is Bloodstalk. It's like, it wasn't some mind-blowing thing because the clues have been there the whole time. But this is the part I've been waiting for. Because now, I think about it, I don't have to do much of a deep dive into this information as one would think. It makes sense. Is that you find somebody compatible enough with the rider system. Rasen has the levels and all. Sento Kiryu, perfect. Banjo Ryuga, also a perfect plaything for you to experiment on. And they just happen to survive being hit with nebula gas. So I don't know if that had anything to do with them knowing that they were compatible, that they would ultimately be compatible with the rider system, or anything like that. But it brings a lot of things into question about the hows and whys of Soichi in trying to understand, like, what was on this dude's mind, right? Like, there are a lot of questions we just don't have the answer to, that the show will in its own time get around to reveal. But Soichi Tsurugi is Bloodstalk. But again, like I said, that makes sense. Not in that makes sense of the plot, but it's like, it makes sense that you were the astronauts that went and brought the box down to the Earth, which caused the skywall tragedy, blah, blah, blah. We know this. Be the one. We know this. 3 will target to Toko, Soto, and Hokuto, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I know. We don't have a why. That's it. That's I waited 20-something minutes to say we don't have why. We have a whole bunch of hows leave into why. But why are you Bloodstalk? Why is that your choice, your thing to do? The dynamics of this show have been changing bit by bit, and this is a dynamic shift in character, in tone for this show. Because this is like betrayal. Like, finding out about Sawa was one thing. She got in way over her head and had to beg the homies for forgiveness. But y'all been getting played by fiddles by the since the jump. Since the jump. And now you have to figure out what it is you need to do, how you need to do it. And I don't know, as someone who analyzes this show the way that I do, how this dynamic is going to change how this show works. Because right now, we right back to the status quo of 2 episodes ago. Sento has no full bottles. Ryuga still has Cross the Dragon. What's Masora's purpose at this point if she's purified all the full bottles? What is Soichi's game plan as Bloodstalk? Why is he working with Japanese Big Worm? Questions. And you still have your current wild card and that boy Gentoku, leader of the Gray Squad. And figuring out how he gonna sit up here and react. Because it's like, this is not information that he's gonna find out. But knowing But us knowing who he is really gonna make us really watch these other characters as they sit up here and evolve. Because this information ain't finna get leaked. It ain't like Sento finna go run to him and like, so Ichi, he Bloodstar, cuz help me out. No. But you've really gotta legitimately wonder how this piece of information changes the dichotomy of this show. Usually I would be prepared with an answer. I walked into this review and hit record on the mic and had no answer and still have not one now. Because this whole time we've been talking about this episode and the dynamics within this episode is that the thing I can't say is this, because I want to say this. It's good to know that all of this stuff was and is stuff that was planned from the jump. But you've gotta wonder. The question that I just thought of is, where does that leave Takumi? Like, where does that leave that information? Because if Bloodstalk was the one at Soichi who called in the hit, then what was the hit for? Was it to steal the rider system? Was it a cover-up in some big giant plan of then thereof? What? But what I want to do is the thing that I probably should. I'm going to let the show bring the answers to me. We can do all the speculation and stuff, because that's why I don't watch next time on Kamen Rider Build. Because I want to be able to come at this with fresh speculation without knowing what's going to happen next. But you've really got to wonder what's going to happen next. This immediately changes the most important dynamic in the show. The family dynamic of Sento, Ryuga, Masora, Sawa, and Soichi. That family has this to deal with now. How will they deal with it? I'm going to let the show do what the show does, and I'm going to let the show show me. We can speculate, but just fun and let it play out. I'd like to thank you guys for joining me for another installment of Triple the Guy Speaks On, live in the LAB, live on Team GRF TV. Man, like I said, this was a doozy, y'all. This was a doozy. I'm like, my feelings was hurt. Like, for real. Like, that reveal stung a bit. But see, when things like that happen, and I mention this a lot when I review other more dramatic stuff that I get into, when it stings a bit, when you feel something from a reveal that does that, the show's doing its job. I felt that pain. That had to hurt. Because he knew the whole episode, and then that outpouring of, yo, answer me. Hard to watch, but fun to watch. But yeah, class is dismissed. Lab coats and the cubby hoes. Make sure you're nice and sterile. Don't go outside licking things. Don't, like, somebody licked a pole, and I do not appreciate that. Stop licking poles. Licking poles is bad. Just don't do it. You don't know what other people's hands has been. Kids is crazy out there. Don't touch the L experiment. Don't spill no L's on you, because you might get some L's on you, and we still ain't figured out how L's work the way that we should. So if you catch an L, we can't cure you. It just is what it is. That's what we do down in the lab. Y'all gonna get up out of here. Go have lunch. Go have recess. Enjoy yourself. We'll be back in the LAB later. You know who I am. The one and only Triple the G.O.D. A.K.A. Professor L, live in the LAB, live on Team GRF TV. And again, I'd like to thank all of you for joining me for another installment of Triple the Guy Speaks On. And please remember, the one and the only, the LAB, Kamen Rider Build. You put that in a full bottle, slap both of them in, and what you get? Best match!